Is brought to you by Edward Jones financial advisor Kelly Harmon, providing you with well-researched guidance backed by Edward Jones' extensive team and technology that help you prepare for retirement, children's education, or other financial goals. Call 252-473-1006 or visit the link on the screen.
Doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com.
Country illegally cast a ballot. It takes the power of your vote away. Visit onlycitizens.vote to find out how you can contact your legislature and get them to pass a citizens-only voting amendment. Again, visit onlycitizens.vote and defend your right to vote.
This season of the Urban Conservative Podcast is brought to you by Newton for Senate, working to improve education, reduce taxes, and keep North Carolina #1 for business. Find out more at newtonforsenate.com.
This episode of the Urban Conservative has also been sponsored by Case Technology Consulting. Help your business get value out of its data and become more efficient and streamlined. Case Technology Consulting. Check out the link in the description. All right, ladies and gentlemen, top of the morning to you. My name is Abdul Ali. I'm one half of the Urban Conservative. Big shout out to my twin brother, Raheem Architect Soto, who's on writing duty this morning. Shout out to the whole South Shore Press. And if you haven't done so already, we need you to go over to our website, which is tuconservative.com. That is where you can support our mission of sharing conservative values and principles to urban communities across this great nation of ours. You can grab yourself a work privilege t-shirt, a Urban Conservative mug, a t-shirt. We got that exclusive top of the morning joint. So again, website tuconservative.com. That is where you can go to support what we do here on the platform. It is Major City Monday going down here on the Urban Conservative, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about a little bit about what's going on across the country in some of our major cities. On tap this week for you, we've got LA, Chicago, and New York. Now, one thing I think, and I'm going to start out in the suburbs of Chicago. The FBI has served subpoenas of the super mayor, Tiffany Henyard. If y'all haven't heard about Tiffany Henyard, she has faced accusations of corruption. She is the lady that has been spending lavishly at the expense of her Dalton Village constituents. On this past Friday, 4 agents from the FBI visited the Dalton Village Hall around 2:30, where they served 2 federal subpoenas. This is so bad, ladies and gentlemen, that they actually have, what's her name? The Lori Lightfoot is actually the special investigator. It's so bad. But let's take a look at this news story about it, and let's go.
Sorting out another confrontation involving the mayor, the board, and the public. Nate.
Yeah, guys, this Board of Trustees meeting ended early tonight with 4 trustees actually walking out abruptly. The village clerk left early as well. First, I want to paint a picture of what all we were able to experience. It was very chaotic, and to be quite honest with you, frankly honest with you, it was even scary at times for those of us that were inside of the meeting. There were folks banging on the windows.
That beard does not tell me you were scared, bro.
And doors of the Village Hall. About 100 residents showed up at the meeting tonight, but only 42 residents were allowed inside. They had to walk through metal detectors, and they were wanded down before I take.
In other words, they got treated worse than migrants get treated coming into the country. So there you have it. The FBI serving federal subpoenas for super mayor, they call her, Tiffany Henyard, out there in Dalton, Chicago, which is a suburb of Chicago. They actually have Lori Lightfoot, again, Lori Lightfoot, serving as the special investigator for that situation there. Now, the thing about this, right, is that black folks in this town voted for this mayor. Y'all voted for this. Okay. And the strange thing about this to me is that there is beyond more than reasonable cause for this. Hold on, let me share this tab instead. Let me see if this doesn't. We're not doing the ads. Hold on a second. Can't stop it. It just is a continuous problematic situation there. But ladies and gentlemen, out in Chicago, the other thing that we need to pay attention to is the fact that the residents have had enough. Chicago residents are essentially revolting against another $70 million that they want us to put towards illegal migrants. Okay. So the migrant crisis in Chicago is to the point where folks are actually starting to recognize that Democrats have no real plan to support them. Like, there's no real plan for this. Hold on, let's take a look at this. Hold on, I gotta stop that. I don't want y'all to see the ad. Hold on, there we go.
Now, to align yourself with somebody who's obviously a one-term mayor, if he even makes it that far, you better be worrying about your job. You better be worrying about your longevity, because we're gonna vote and we're gonna get you out because you ain't doing right by us. That's what time it is.
Chicagoans furious and sounding off on Mayor Johnson's plan to tack on another $70 million to migrant funding. Frustration building to the point that some voters are now working to get him out of office, as you heard that constituent there saying. Garrett Tenney live in Chicago with the story. Hi, Garrett.
So not only are they working to get him out of office, what you'll notice by a lot of the Chicago residents that showed up at that city council meeting were wearing Make America Great Again hats. They were wearing Go Red. They started an organization. We're working to get those folks on the Urban Conservative. But they started an organization called Go Red. And their whole idea is to vote Republican, is to vote outside of the box, to put people in place that are actually going to benefit their community, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what's happening in Chicago and around the suburbs. We're going to take a very, very quick commercial break. We're going to come right back. We're going to talk about New York. There is a lot going on in New York City and around town. So don't worry. We'll be right back here on Top of the Morning. Don't go nowhere.
Because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com. Have brought you chaos at our border, failed foreign policy, sky-high prices, and out-of-control crime. It's time for new ideas and new leadership. Vote Abdul Ali for U.S. House District 12, and let's make America better. Paid for by Ali for Congress.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're back. Top of the morning here on the Urban Conservative. You're joined by no one other than Abdul Ali. Please visit aliforcongress.com. Support my run for U.S. House District 12 here in the great state of North Carolina, ladies and gentlemen. Now, one thing I noticed, and we're talking about New York now. Y'all notice how people are getting in trouble for using the term illegal alien? Like, they're actually kids. Hold on, and I'm going to find this. There's a kid, Christian McGee, 16-year-old student at Central Division High School, Lexington, North Carolina, was suspended for using the term illegal alien during his English class. The incident took place on April 9th when Christian's teacher assigned the class vocabulary words, one of which was the word alien. That is where we are. And now we're also at the point where we're no longer calling them illegal aliens. We're no longer calling them undocumented migrants. Now it is the asylum seeker crisis. Right. Asylum seeker crisis. Somebody sat in a focus group of some sort and was like, what term can we use to hide the fact that we're talking? What's a better term than undocumented migrant? And it seems like the word asylum seeker crisis is what it is. Let's take a listen to this story out of New York.
showed up at City Hall demanding better treatment. They say today hundreds of black migrants, many from African countries, showed up at City Hall demanding better treatment. They say they just want a job and basic shelter.
And Chopper 2 was overhead this afternoon, showing the large group outside City Hall just how many people this issue is impacting. The steps of City Hall also packed.
Here's what my problem is, right? This is where y'all have to understand something. Somebody paid for those signs. This isn't by accident. This is by design, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody paid for those signs.
CBS 2's John Diaz.
Yo, why are you out here smiling? This is not fun.
Reports now on the changes that they're calling for.
Every migrant we spoke with has something in common.
Illegal aliens, sir.
They want to work. Right now, they're trying to cut through all the red tape that's stopping them, asking local leaders to put pressure on Washington, D.C. to make a change. As dozens rallied on the steps outside City Hall and hundreds showed up in support nearby inside the council chambers, tears were shed for all black migrants impacted by what advocates are calling unfair treatment.
Notice how they're doing that. They're putting the women up there to soften it, when in reality, the majority of these migrants are military age men coming into our country. You notice how slick and dirtbaggy that is? Look at how slick this
Tears
is.
were shed for all black migrants
See how they have the women on the signs? In the reality, the majority of the migrants are men.
Unfair treatment.
They're here to show you that they belong.
Why are you up here crying, girl?
And that they are here.
Oh my God.
And that they should not be erased. Please listen to them.
Tuesday, City Council members held its first hearing to learn more about the experiences black migrants have been going through in New York.
Black migrants have reported verbal and physical abuse to
You don't sound like a migrant, ma'am.
the color of their skin.
Federal
immigration
laws are either slowing down.
Yeah, where's all these women? Look at all these men.
For these migrants to get
look at all these military. There's one chick right here to the left. Look at all these military age young men. Look at this. There's another woman in the red shirt. It's not a lot of women.
It makes them ineligible.
But when they give our work permits, we can work and take care of ourselves.
Governor Kathy Hochul has tried to speed along the process. These migrants are also up in arms over language access barriers and temporary.
Hey, hold on. I'm gonna have to draw a line here. When you say language access barrier, I'm gonna need you to learn the language of the country it is that you are attempting to take refuge in, sir and ma'am. Okay? What defines a country are three things: a culture, a border, and a language. Okay? Just so it happens that the language in this country is English, not French, not Spanish, not Mandarin, not Dutch. It's English. Learn English.
Shelters, saying 30 days isn't long enough. This mother and her two kids have been staying at the humanitarian
but you got golded
relief center at Floyd Bennett Field. But she says the city should be providing more assistance.
Why?
What I expect to have like a help from American people, I did not see that.
The American people don't got it, sis. Are you? Is the international perception that Americans are just fat and happy? Is that the international perception of what's going on in this country? I'm confused as to why people think just Americans got it. What? I don't understand. It's like prices are up 20% since 2020. Okay? Everything costs more. Dining out costs more. You know, I don't understand this expectation that the American people are just supposed to take care of everybody. I don't get it.
The relief center continues to be.
Yo, so what you left to come here We got you tables and chairs and beds and clean drinking water, and you want more.
Tension for Republican council member Vicky Palladino, who says the city is already giving the migrants too much.
This is absolute insanity.
Thank you, ma'am.
At its finest.
Yes, it is.
And most migrants we saw out here
Notice they only gave her that. It's absolute insanity.
today were young men, but also we saw some families, including children and even some infants. From City Hall, John Diaz, CBS 2 News.
All right, y'all. So the American people are supposed to do more than we're already doing, ladies and gentlemen. The American people are supposed to do a lot more already. Forget the tens of millions of dollars that the city of New York has spent, the city of Chicago, and all of these air finger quote sanctuary cities have already spent. Never mind that more often than not, you're coming from a crap hole country where you didn't have a cot, you didn't have hot drinking water, you didn't have an entire field, you didn't have a work permit, you didn't have the prospect. Forget all of that. This lady expects us to do more. Now, all of this is playing in to the re-election, the actual re-election likelihood of what's his name, Eric Adams up there. New Manhattan Institute poll suggests that Mayor Eric Adams' re-election prospects are hinging on his ability to make progress on crime and the migrant crisis. He passes the halfway mark of his administration's supermajority. 68% of likely New York City voters believe that things are on the wrong track. This is according to a Manhattan Institute poll. Okay? And I'll actually go like this. Look. Survey analysis of 2025 likely mayoral voters on politics, crime, migrant, and election reform. Okay? He's in dire straits, according to this poll. Asked whom they would vote for in the next mayoral election, only 16% would choose Adams, 2/3 saying they would vote for somewhere else. The mayor's job approval rating is poor, coming in at 24%. Only 4% of likely voters in the city strongly approve of the mayor's job performance, and that 4% is probably the bureaucrats that are getting paid. Look at these results. Nobody approves of the way he's doing things. Okay? Now, the reality of this is, when we look through this, okay, this is the problem in New York that you have right now. You see this? 52% of likely voters would vote for Biden today, according to this. 25% Trump. Now look at Staten Island. Now we could chalk this up to whatever. I know what this is going to be. I know what folks are going to say. Staten Island is predominantly white, so therefore you're going to see that predominantly white vote for Joe Biden, for Donald Trump out on Staten Island. But here's the reality of it. This is why New York is in the situation that it's in. It's directly related to how the folks are voting in New York. It's directly related to their votes. If the election were held today, 52% of the voters in the Bronx, 57%, 64 in Manhattan, with everything going on there, everything they're seeing, these are the numbers according to this Manhattan poll. But that is why New York is in the situation that it's in. That is the exact reason why New York is in there today. The Democrat Party is the party that best reflects my values and preferences. Come on, folks. Come on, folks. But ladies and gentlemen, that's what's going on. Major City Monday. That's what's happening up in New York City. We're going to come right back after this quick commercial break. We're going to talk a little bit about what's happening in LA. There was an incident with the mayor. We'll cover that, and then we'll get on out of here for this Monday morning. Y'all stay right here on Top of the Morning on the Urban Conservative. Don't go nowhere.
I served in the Army 26 years, retired as a colonel. I started a business from scratch that created a lot of great jobs for veterans. We help the military develop ways to defeat IEDs, improvised explosive devices, saving the lives of hundreds of American soldiers and preventing thousands of serious injuries. Now let this conservative fighter take on Biden's mess at the border.
I'm Lori Buckout. I approve this message.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Top of the morning here on the Urban Conservative. We are on Major City Monday time. We appreciate each and every one of y'all rocking with us. As always, the website, tuconservative.com. Wanted to give a big shout out to the folks over at Americans for Citizens Only Voting. If you live in North Carolina, it is going down April the 27th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Carolina New Leadership Summit. We are blessed to have Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, Representative Ken Fontenot, civil rights icon and conservative leader Clarence Henderson, the brother Craig Scott, myself, and so many other great folks coming out to Greensboro for the Carolina New Leadership Summit. You can go to Americans Citizens Only.vote in order to find out more. You can also reach out to us here on the Urban Conservative. We'll get you connected if you want to attend this fantastic event. If you are in the North Carolina, Greensboro, and surrounding areas, you do not want to miss that opportunity there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk a little bit about Los Angeles. And the reason we're going to talk about Los Angeles is because the mayor happened to have her home. I don't know if you know who the mayor of Los Angeles is. There she is. Her name is Karen Bass. Karen Bass had an intruder arrested yesterday morning, after a break-in at her home. Around 6:40 a.m., an individual smashed the window to gain entry into the Getty house while it was occupied. Bass and her family reside at the Getty house in the Hancock Park neighborhood of Los Angeles. The mayor's office tells ABC News that she was in the house when the intruder broke in, but did not specify if she had any interactions with the suspect. There were no injuries to the occupants. The suspect was taken into custody without incident. Authorities said late yesterday night, the suspect, who was identified as Ephraim Matthew Hunter, 29-year-old, was booked on a felony burglary charge. His bail was set at $100,000. Now, I bet you his bail was set at $100,000 because it was the mayor's house he broke into. Had he broke into a regular person's house, chances are he wouldn't have had any bail. Get in the comments, let me know if you agree or disagree with that. But that's what I think would have happened. He wouldn't have got any bail. It was not immediately clear if the young man had legal representation. Police said the investigation is ongoing. Following the break-in, the deputy mayor of Calm, Zach Seidel, released a statement saying the mayor is grateful to LAPD for responding and arresting the suspect. So here you have the mayor's house getting broken into. The person breaking into the mayor's house getting a $100,000 bond, $100,000 bail. I'm making the suggestion that if it was a regular person's house, some Joe Schmo, they wouldn't have got any bail. They would have let him out. I'm curious. Just curious about something going on in LA real quick. Bear with me a second here. Yeah, the crime rate is through the roof in Los Angeles. Yeah. The end of year crime stats for Los Angeles. I'm gonna just share this with y'all. And this is the most recent numbers, end of 2023. In 2023, 327 homicides, which is a 17% reduction compared to 2022. That's not a bad look. Citywide violent crime showed a 3.2 decrease. Okay. However, citywide Part 1 crime showed a 1.9 increase. Citywide, there was a decrease of 10% in victims shot in 2023 compared to 2022. So maybe things are calming down. Property crime statistics showed a 3.5% increase in 23. Motor theft, there we go. Motor vehicle thefts up 2%. The Organized Retail Theft Task Force made 128 arrests in LA. During those, they recovered 15 firearms and more than 150 grand in stolen property. 36% decrease in homeless-related homicides. That's a good thing. 10% reduction in Part 1 crimes involving household individuals. 26% decrease in gang-related homicides, and 33% decrease in gang-related homicides in 2021. So there appears to be, at least going into the end of 2023, a decrease in crime in Los Angeles. Can we chalk that up to the mayor? Who knows? Can we chalk that up to more policing? Who knows? But ladies and gentlemen, you have been checking out Top of the Morning's Major City Monday here on the Urban Conservative. Once again, if you are in the North Carolina area, please consider joining us for the Carolina New Leadership Summit. It goes down April the 27th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the downtown Greensboro Marriott. Address on the screen, link on the Urban Conservative. We will be live and direct, both of us. The TUC twins will be with you tonight for the Urban Conservative podcast. With that, y'all have a positive and productive rest of your day. For my twin brother, Raheem Architect Soto, I'm Abdul Ali. This has been Top of the Morning. Peace and love, y'all.
Doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com.